What does it mean to invest in cancer innovation?
It means backing companies that are doing some of the most difficult biological, scientific, and medical work out there. They're trying to figure out the biology of cancer and how to treat it. Most people aren't aware, but the mortality rate has collapsed in terms of cancer. This is equivalent to 2.9 million lives being saved since 1991 in the United States. This kind of breakthroughs, they keep happening. And the reason for that is that we've seen two major advances in the last decade. The first is the collapse in the cost of genetic sequencing. So we can now sequence human genomes for the cost of about $1,000, which means a vast amount of information where we can understand cancers and human biology. And the rise of artificial intelligence or machine learning. And the application of these two things together could really lead to an era where oncology research and cancer research sees more and more breakthroughs because it becomes more akin to, say, engineering than it has to speculative biology of the past.
What are some of those breakthroughs in oncology?
There's so much going on. It's a vast and varied field. I think I'd like to highlight three. The first is radiopharmaceuticals. And this is the brilliant idea of taking an antibody that can detect cancer cells or find proteins on the surface of cancer cells and attaching to it a radioactive chemical. And the idea is to create precision radiotherapy. So instead of giving someone radiotherapy, which is imprecise and often kills healthy tissue as well, can we target the cancer cell specifically? So when that antibody finds that cancer cell, it releases the radioactive material and kills the cancer cell only. It takes me into my second innovation that's going on in oncology is antibody drug conjugates. It's a very, very similar idea to the one I described here, except instead of a radioactive chemical that's attached to these antibodies, it is a toxic chemical, which is equivalent to the chemotherapy that a lot of cancer patients get given. As we know, chemotherapy is really bad. It has a lot of side effects. So can we attach it to an antibody that finds cancer cells to make it much more targeted and precise? Both of these areas are massive amounts of innovation because radiotherapy and chemotherapy are often given to a lot of cancer patients already. So replacing those and make those better will really make an impact in terms of outcomes. The final one is cancer vaccines. And here we're talking about the idea of finally developing personalized cancer treatments that is exactly targeted to your type of, or an individual's type of cancer and type of mutations as well. And this, we think, could be a major breakthrough, but it's a bit further down the line as well.